Hit it, Joe!
Shit. Hold on. We're here. I'm here. Don't worry, chat. Chat, we're so back. Hold on. I'm here. I just gotta situate. I gotta reconnect. Oh, it doesn't sound great. The new microphone. Alright, so you may be wondering why I sound like shit today. It's called I lost my microphones. I don't know where either of them are. I have two, so that I have a spare, and then now I don't, so... Alright, hang on, I'm connecting. You guys are gonna hear a lot of mouth sounds. I am so sorry. It's an ASMR stream today. I need to connect. Hey, check me out. Wait. Dang it. Hang on. I'm also listening to myself in my ear, which is kind of weird. Come on, dang it. Restart. Let me see. Hold on. Stop trying to connect. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. Hold on, we're listening to Balatro again. Oh, you can hear me breathe. I'm sorry. Listen, so alright, the story... I'm putting Balatro back on so you don't hear my mouth sounds. It's on quietly in the background. What is going on? It's just my... this iPad receiver that I have on my computer has decided that right now is the greatest time to not work. There we go. Alright. Did you find the app useful? No. No thanks. Alright. Connect. Baller! Alright. Alright. Ta-da! Oh my god. Alright, so I sound fine, microphone sounds fine. You guys just can hear mouse sounds. I'm sorry. I'll keep music on in the background so you don't hear it too much. Oh, I'm a little loud. I'll turn it down. Alright, let me turn it down a smidgen. The microphone does sound a little... I don't know. It sounds a little robot-y. Huh? No, this is fine. I mean, it's whatever. We're already going. I'm already live. None of this has been muted. I've just been listening to myself in my ear. Alright, I've given the headphone back to Connor. What's up? Howdy, folks. So the story is, and what we're going to start with here is I have some pictures to show you. I know that we are used to seeing the art room with me in my clown makeup, in all my glory, with my white brick prison background for the first few streams here, but I am redoing it. I have some pictures to show you. Alright, so hold on, wait, hold on. I have to switch back. We're switching to be right back mode. But I'm gonna add window capture. No, that's not. I did a dumb guy thing. We're still here, Chad. It's okay. I'm holding your hand. I forgot to upload the new pictures I took. I took a couple pictures of the painted shelves. So, story time is that we redid the art room, or I am in the process of redoing the art room. We're coloring the wall, we're coloring some shelves. I was gonna do stream of it. I was gonna do an extra bonus stream of it, but it ultimately ended up being a way bigger project than I imagined. It took a lot more out of me physically than I imagined. So I said, maybe not. So I have been recording bits and pieces of it, and I'm just gonna make a big video about it later. Baller. Shot collar. 20-inch blades on the Impala. Holla getting laid tonight. I don't know the rest. Paste. Here we go. More pictures. Bada bing. Alright. Welcome back. We're back. We're so back. Alright, let's see. So here I have some pictures to show you why. Why is there a line on my thing? Oh, that's not right. There we go. We fixed it. Bada bing. Alright. Look, I'm a wizard. Alright. Check me out, check me out. This was the room before. Here's another angle. Here, let me move this out of the way over here. So here's the room as we had everything moved out of there. That's an arm. And then we painted the wall. The wall is orange. Oh, I gotta fix the color on this, but it's fine. It's a lot brighter than that. But the wall is orange. And then that shelf that's attached to the wall, I painted it like this teal color. This is like... Oh, I could draw on this. So, check me out. This is, this is just tape. So I have this. These are going to be white. I'm just going to repaint them because they got painted with the wall. They gave the wall the old landlord treatment, but it had been given one before, so we just kind of went over it with a new color. It's going to look like a Nickelodeon Wonderland in there without all the feet. So right now, we are in my living room, and I am just drawing on my iPad today. We're going to do some digital art. But check this out. So this is, I'm going to paint this part of it. This part's going to be, yeah, I'm going to make this part white, and then I was told that it's totally within code if I were to paint this. I just want to paint the surface of it here. Just the parts that you see. I want to paint that black. Just so that it goes with the color scheme some more. I'm going for bright colors, and I'm going for, like, just... It's gonna be like a Polly Pocket house in there. Have you guys ever chewed on the clothes? Delectable. What was your favorite piece of Polly Pocket clothes to chew on? Put that in the comments. So, because this microphone sucks, I'm going to be periodically muting it. But I'll unmute it for funnies. And then we'll just listen to Balatro. And just jam out. This is... I'll put it in the stream chat. This is what we're listening to. It is the entire Balatro OST for 1 hour. But all tracks playing simultaneously, so they put them all on top of each other. And it kind of slaps. So we're listening to this on loop for a couple hours. And it's an hour long, so it's fine. And if I choose to listen to something later, we can listen to something later. Because I control the music. Driver controls the music, Shotgun shuts his cake hole. That's the... we gotta watch Supernatural at some point. Even as just like a background show. It's cheesy, it's fun. I want to rewatch it now that I have a developed frontal lobe. And now that it's just officially over. It's just fucking long. Alright, fellas. Let's get to some doodling here. I'm not worried about my work in progresses anymore. Here, we're gonna work on what we were working on last time. We've already sketched this out. We can watch the replay here. I will make it right here so that we can see the whole thing. I've been practicing. So, where is it? There we go. We'll watch this replay. Whoops. While we're watching this, I guess I could talk about who this character is, because I did remove last week's stream for some reasons that I don't want to talk about. But I'm gonna edit it and make it like a supercut or whatever. Germa jump scare. I'll make it a supercut later or something. There were just some pieces that needed to be cut out. This is my personal iPad that I use for life things too, so I was like, wait, I need to delete some things. So this is my character that I've been working on for like 2 years now, I think. A little over 2 years now. 2.5 probably. Her name is Betsy. This is just me writing facts about her because I tried to make it like a outline. I was like, I'm doing too much. Gotta figure it out. So I'm just listing out some Betsy facts here, as you can see on the thing. She exists within the Bob's Burgers universe, but her story is her own. She does interact with the characters and everything. She has relationships with the characters, just friendships and other things. I don't really like ship her with anybody in the story, which is usually what I do with a lot of like my OCs that I create, because cringe is dead and creating characters for the shows that you like is fun. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And this ended up becoming an entire comic that I'm working on. So she has her own story. It's going to parallel a lot of things that have kind of happened to me in the way that I've coped with them. I have taken some creative liberties in her story and added some more so that it fits her lore a little bit more. I have warped some of her story. But most of the big events, are from some personal experience. And I've been working through some shit. And this is how I'm doing it. So I am, when I see the show, when I watch the show, when I watch Bob's Burgers, I feel like I'm transported back to when I was 13, and then I'm Tina, I know that's stereotypical to say, but just like everything that a lot of the things that she did, even the embarrassing, like creepy, terrible, awful stuff, I'm just like, oh god. to a degree, I was a weird kid. And I'm working through some stuff, and I'm embracing my cringe. And in order to do that, I'm making this comic with my character. So Betsy is... I'm also completely, like... So her story is exaggerated in some parts in order to make more comedic value, story value. You know, the fun stuff. So she is like, I don't think they have YouTube in that world. I think it's ViewTube. But they do make, I don't know, is it YouTube or YouTube? They say things like Facebook and stuff sometimes. But then when they have episodes like dedicated to that like specific thing, it's something different. Like with the food truck episode and the Twitter or the Yelp or whatever it was. Look at them dogs. Hold on. Anyway, she's like a YouTuber. Think like, Jenna Marbles. Or, I think that's the biggest one I can kind of compare her to, because she does leave for a bit. But the thing, too, is that she starts... Here, let me pull up. Look at all my stuff. Alright, so... She is originally around, like, this time period. This one. She becomes... like one half of a couple channel. She gets into the YouTuber stuff, the ViewTuber stuff, with her at that time partner. And he's a shithead. So he takes advantage of that. They have a channel called Betsy and Mac, where... No, it's called... What did I call it? I gotta look it up. I have it written somewhere. It's in here. Actually, you know what? It might be in this time lapse. Let's look at it. Hold on. Hang on. So, I wrote about it. Look at it. We'll talk about this. That's her full government name, is Bethany Jane Staton. Formerly one half of an online couples channel. It like went viral and they got big, and they're like micro niche internet celebrities. And yeah, there's a little spoiler in there, but I'm trying to word it in a way that's not throwing the story everywhere. I haven't, like, fully centered it down in, like, a coherent way. So it's just word vomit right now. Also, I'm a little embarrassed about it, but I don't care. Mac and BB, that's what it's called. I called it Mac and BB. Because it's stupid, and she thinks it's stupid. So, originally, it's her boyfriend at the time doing it. And then, they realize how much money a couple's channel can bring in. And then they start that. and they do like challenge videos and stuff like that, and like the girlfriend does my makeup stuff. The cheesy YouTube trends from back in the day, you know? And then you're watching it and you think that they're so cute, but in reality he's an asshole. And he does not treat her well. And she goes through flashbacks and stuff throughout the story, which is why I have this age thing, because these different versions of Betsy will show up throughout her flashbacks. And that's going to be like a majority of like the stories, the chapters, quote unquote, that I write about her are more episodic than like a full beginning to end storyline, because that's how the show is. So I've basically just been kind of writing like Betsy episodes, and so now I'm just going to turn those into a comic, because that's the easiest way to go about doing that. So these are the different versions of Betsy that will show up throughout the story. And it's around this time when she gets into the couples channel YouTube stuff, and then it gets big, and then they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money off of it, and they are in the in crowds and things, and they're getting invited to events, and she's around all these people, and she's talking to all these. She's on all the time. And then things start to kind of hit a plateau. They don't do as well anymore. And of course, throughout it, you know, she's not being treated very well, so she does get pretty depressed and kind of down. Misses her family. She moves away. And then ultimately, at the turning point, her dad gets sick. And then she goes to take care of her dad. And then I don't know the timing of this. I can't figure out the timing of this, how I'm going to play it out in the story. But in the story, Betsy goes to take care of her sick dad. And then as her dad is like dying, she goes home and finds out that she's being cheated on. And so she, without a word, packs up everything, at least everything that she can fit into her car, and drives away and calls a friend. I think I'm going to have that friend be somebody who lives there. Calls a friend and says, hey, find me somewhere by the water. And then her friend finds her a place next to Wonder Wharf as a joke originally. And then Betsy's like, is it a shithole? And her friend's like, yeah, kinda. And Betsy's like, perfect, I need it to be. Because she needs to get away from the perfectionism and all of that, so. And she knows that her ex would never step foot in Jersey. So. And I'm pretty sure the show takes place in Jersey, so. She moves to Wonder Wharf and gets a house with her YouTube money. She just kind of buys it, and Mr. Fischoeder's confused because he's so used to renting it. And she's like, no, here's my money. Here's my husband's money. Take it and give me this house. So she moves in. It's a decent house by the water. And then she just sits in an empty house for a bit. And then later on in the story, well, she sits in an empty house in a bit, and then she's like, I'm hungry. And she goes, and she is walking down the road, walking towards the wharf, and is like, I'll just eat somewhere out here. And then she sees Jimmy Pesto's restaurant. She's like, ew, I don't want Italian food right now, really. That pizza smells like fart. And so then she turns around and goes into, she's like, I guess I could go for a burger. And she walks in, and she eats at Bob's Burgers. And then she's like, this is really good. And she keeps coming back as she's like trying to get used to the area there. And then she becomes friends with them and everything. And then from there builds. And then, some other bits and pieces that happen are that before, so this is also where I stretch the story, and this is just all Betsy lore now at this point. Before she was a YouTuber, she was an accountant because she's really good at math, because I'm really good at math. And I've learned that about myself recently. So, I gave her a math job. So she's really good at math. She's an accountant. And so when she becomes friends with the Belchers and everything, she offers, wait. She, in her, like, official divorce, which I am writing about now, and trying to put the whole story bits and pieces together, but she basically gets a huge divorce settlement because she had secretly recorded video of her ex treating her poorly, and was able to use it in court and got a good settlement because I don't know, I have to research more about divorce law. I don't know. I've never been actually divorced. And I think I gotta watch Liar Liar some more. I think that's where I'm gonna get my divorce research from. Because that's what it is. He's doing a divorce case. And that's kind of where I got this plot point, is that she gets a lot from that divorce settlement, and then she's like, I'm gonna use this to invest in the restaurant. So she pays off some of the, like, equipment and things. She doesn't, like, it's not a ton, so she can't give everything. She still has mortgage, or not a mortgage to pay. She still got bills to pay. And she stops doing YouTube for a bit, so she just is on her own for a bit, chilling. And while she stops doing YouTube, her ex tries to cancel her and slam her on the internet. Is like, I don't know why my wife disappeared. I can't find her anywhere. And then she, this didn't happen in real life.
No, it's happening.
Oh, it's an Elden Ring. This is the dramatization of the stories. But he tries to cancel her, and he's like, she's terrible, she's bad, and then she loses a lot of following on her own channel because of it. And then, like, she even loses, like, a milestone that she had been previously excited to get and everything, and she was pretty bummed about it. And then later, like, once she's settled in and everything, she makes, like, a video from her still empty house and is like, it was all him. And basically, like, I'm not gonna say much, but he sucks. Here's what I caught him doing while this was happening in my life, and while all this is going on, and while, you know, she's moving and trying to deal with all of that, her sick dad that I had mentioned previously dies. So, she's dealing with that too, on top of it. So, she's going through some shit. But this whole story and the whole story building parts of it, what I'm getting at is that it's me helping my inner child and working through some of the rough shit that's happened, in a more dramatic fashion, in a comic form, with characters that I enjoy. So, I feel like I've done my research on the show to portray the characters in a way that is accurate, like the existing characters. I still have to practice drawing a lot of them. I think I can draw Tina. I have her in here somewhere. Not that. There's Tina. So I could draw Tina a little bit. I could draw Louise. I can kind of draw Jean. There's something about drawing Jean that I can't get down without... He just looks like a character. He doesn't look like Jean, you know, when I draw him. Like, look at this. Yeah. This is Tucker. They're not usually in night outfits. This is for an episode that I have written where they play a game together online because they're apart. They're in separate states across the country from each other. And they're playing a game together. And I made it Legally Distinct Baldur's Gate, which I forgot what I'm calling it. I think I'm calling it Belgot's Atrium. But this is Betsy's rogue outfit for that, and then this is Tucker's, I think, paladin outfit. And then the kids would be portrayed as, like, floating little fairy blobs on Betsy's shoulder. And, it zooms in and they look like that. So, this is a fun one. This will be a fun one to draw out in comic form at some point. And just doing like a regular comic, I feel will help me practice my style some more, and practice the style of the show and everything too, which will be fun. So, where did he go? We could talk about Tucker some more. I'm still working on more Tucker lore, because Tucker is a homunculus. He's a Frankenstein's monster of, like, 5 different reference points. But I have honed him in more so on the lore backstory stuff. So he is also he's a gamer streamer, or was a gamer streamer. He kind of, well, I'll keep him a gamer streamer for a little bit. Ultimately, this is a spoiler, but ultimately, I have him team up with Teddy, because I was like, Teddy needs a pal. Teddy needs a hand. So, ultimately, Tucker moves in to Betsy's house. Originally as just friends and roommates, and then they fall in love. Definitely not based off of anything. But they're childhood friends. And he's gonna be in some of the, like, not exactly like flashback scenes that are like traumatic memories, but like he'll be in some uh memory scenes and stuff like that, and he ends up just being a character in the story ultimately because he's just there all the time, and it's the best. Um, so so I'm gonna continue on with this kind of reference sheet that I'm making right here. And then I might just do kind of like a storyboard. Honestly, this might take us the rest of the stream because I've sat here and yapped for an hour about my character. Not an hour, like 40 minutes. So, that's Betsy Basics. I'll get into more of everything with the actual comic. You'll learn more. You can subscribe. I'll be posting most of the comic actually on my TikTok, which is just BeebleBub on TikTok. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some line work here. I'm gonna mute my microphone so that I can drink beverages without you having to hear me swallow them, because this microphone picks up everything. Alright, let's do some doodling down. Microphone off. The best thing about this source material is that it's easy to draw. And I mean that in a loving but also derogatory way. Wait, did that pick up the thing saying microphone off?
No.
Okay. Howdy. Jump scare. I'm gonna hit a quick BRB, and then maybe finish up a couple more of these Betsies. We may not even finish all of the line art tonight. I'm getting tired. We may end promptly at 9. I just choked on air for a second. Alright, I'm hitting a quick BRB while I go to the restroom and grab a snack. Okay. I've used the restroom. I got myself a snack. I got myself some drumsticks. I got us some drumsticks at the grocery store today. Yesterday? I don't remember. Got me one of them that I'm gonna snack on. I got some spicy lemonade. You heard me. Don't knock it till you try it. It's pretty tasty. The spicy lemonade. I was at the grocery store and these kids walked by it and started going, ew, spicy lemonade. And then their dad started joining in and going, ew, spicy lemonade. And then I walked by and I was like, that sounds pretty freaking good. And I grabbed it. And I was right. It was pretty freaking good. I still have a little bit left. So I'm going to keep doodling over here. Alright, there we go. the last of the Betsy's on this page to outline. And then I think we'll wrap it up for the night, so let me just finish this up. Oops. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Gotta go this way. Ouch. Alright. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. I'm just gonna fix this little part right here. I just had to hold my breath in order to not sneeze into the microphone. Alright. No. That's probably better. Yeah. the sketch layer for right now. And we'll watch a little time lapse. Hell yeah! Oh, here, actually. I can just put her glasses on for this one. Put this there, put that there. Just erase some of that. Actually, better idea. Second layer. Draw it. Then erase some of it. Then merge. Okay. Alright. That's our current status of this big reference image of my character. I'll post more of the comic soon. I'm gonna probably actually start getting into making it. Keep an eye out. Um, Next time I should hopefully be back into the usual, back into the painting, or actually, I have some fun stuff that I can start trying out. Um, I have some fun gadgets that I got for my recent birthday, so those will be implemented soon. I really want to try that out. But I am gonna finish getting the art room painted. I have another shelf I want to paint. And then the table that I work on, I'm gonna paint that as well. And I just want to reorganize all of my supplies and everything since I'm just fully redecorating in here. But that's about it. I'm gonna hopefully be back in the main room next time. I'm gonna try to get this stuff done this weekend or tomorrow. And then, if I can't get it done by the next time, then I'll just do this again. I'll do more digital art. Alright. It was fun. I got a lot done. I got to yap a bunch. I got to show off my character, who I've enjoyed building the past couple years. I'm excited to actually build her story a little more. Alright. Here, let's, Old Faithful here. Old Reliable. Thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful night and a nice weekend.